Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. If you couldn't already tell by the title, today we are talking about the all-new KVD Beauty Good Apple Foundation Balm. This stuff has been viral on TikTok. I've been seeing it talked about all over beauty Twitter, beauty Instagram, everywhere. Everyone is talking about this product and I am so excited to be here today to discuss it with you guys. Today we're doing a bit of a deep dive into the details of the foundation, the formula, and how it applies. Plus we're going to be doing a little bit of a wear test to see how it wears throughout the day and testing some of those claims that this foundation has. If you want to hear a little bit more about the all-new Good Apple Foundation Balm, let's go ahead and just jump into it. So I'll be honest with you guys, I haven't used a KVD product in quite a while now. Since the big controversy happened, I kind of stayed away from the products. Overall, just kind of wrote off the brand in general, but I know that they've been doing a bit of a rebrand. They got a new logo. They're trying to steer away from the original brand owner, thank God. And I can really appreciate their new movement into something different. I wish that they would steer away a little bit more from the previous brand, but I can appreciate what they're trying to do, and I am so excited today to be talking about one of their products. I saw all the Good Apple promo over on Instagram when it was first about to launch, and all the shades, the whole fact that it's a balm foundation, that there's apple infused, had me really excited. So I did purchase this on launch day from the KVD site. I've never really heard of a product with apple infused into it. I don't think I've personally ever tried one. Plus, I don't think I've ever tried a balm foundation before. I've done sticks, I've done pump foundations in a bottle, that sort of thing, even a cushion foundation, but never a balm foundation. So that alone really intrigued me. And on first impression, I thought it would be more of a very light coverage, maybe a sheer hint of color, very lightweight, modest. But when I started seeing the viral TikToks of people applying this foundation, how extreme the coverage was, I even did one of those videos myself of the first impression. I'll have it here. Check out my TikTok. It's where I review products instantly once I receive them, so you guys will see first looks there all the time. But this foundation, it caused a stir. There are so many new aspects to this foundation that I have personally never tried, and I think a lot of people in the community haven't tried, so very exciting. So let's do a little bit of a breakdown of details on the product. This foundation retails for $38. You get 10 grams or 0.35 ounces. There are 40 shades of this foundation. I think that what struck a lot of people were the promo pics of all the different range of shades, which I so appreciate. A lot of times brands are still behind on the whole shade range thing. People need more shades. We need some inclusivity, and I think that KVD did a really good job on first initial launch of this product, making sure that there was a shade for everyone, and not enough brands do that. So super excited that they decided to do so on the first initial launch and didn't need to add more shades after the fact. I found that a lot of people were saying that it was easy for them to find a shade that matched them initially, so super happy to hear that whenever a foundation launches that there is a shade for everyone. So I believe both Ulta and Sephora are carrying this foundation. It is already launched in stores as I am filming this. I personally ordered mine from the KVD site on launch day. This is the packaging that the foundation comes in. It has a little apple decal on it, which I think is so cute, and on the bottom part you can see your shade poking through. The packaging is absolutely stunning. As you can see, I got this shade Light 004. Very sleek, to the point, with some gold detailing, which I think is stunning. Definitely not a fan of the original owner of the brand, but you cannot say that the artwork behind the brand does not go off a little bit. I love the kind of gothic vibe that KVD has. I always have been kind of drawn to that. I think it's something different than what we see in other brands, so for that I think that they really stand out. The product comes in a clear little compact like case, just like this. You can open it up and close it. I think that it's really nice that it's so transparent and easy to see. You don't have to rummage through your makeup drawer and open it up to see what the shade is. You can just see it right through the container, which I really love. Only downside is that it does get a little bit dirty because it is transparent. You know, the foundation can rub onto the packaging, but that's just something that happens with makeup. Things get dirty, so quickly wiping it off with a wipe every now and again will keep it looking in tip-top shape. Here is what the product looks like sitting in the pan. I'll try to show you guys a little bit of the texture. It's super soft and creamy. As you can see, like full pigment, and I'll go ahead and put it on the back of my hand. It blends in so beautifully. It just matches so well. It blends so effortlessly into the skin. And on the back there are just some more details about the foundation. It says Good Apple, has your shade, shade, all that good stuff. So I think that it is very simplistic, but very well thought out packaging. Another really good thing about this packaging is that it is recyclable. One of the main points on the website is that it's not just recyclable, but it's so easy to recycle because you don't have to disassemble it, you don't have to take any pieces out of it. Simply just rinse it out like you would any other recycling product, and you can put it right in your recycling bin, good to go when you are done. So it is completely recyclable, plastic packaging. So I really love that brands are trying to lean more eco-friendly in that way, especially with makeup packaging. So I'm gonna go over some notes on the KVD Beauty site to give you guys a little bit more information on the product. The Good Apple foundation gives you fast, lightweight, full coverage with a fresh matte finish. We will talk a little bit more about those claims as we get into the wear test. High performance, lightweight, get one and done, buildable full coverage that lasts all day and feels like you're not even wearing foundation. Quickly cover blemishes and discoloration for an instant confidence boost. It's flashback free, non-cakey, and it lasts all day. So again, quite a bit of claims for this foundation. Lasts all day, no cakiness, full coverage, but doesn't feel like you're wearing anything, which is kind of rare with a beauty product. Usually if it's full coverage, you get a little bit of cakiness going on. So this being full coverage, we'll definitely have to see how it wears throughout the day if it holds up to that claim. Some shades look different in the compact than on the skin. Use the photos of the shades on skin to help you pick the right shade. Don't stress, returns are free within 60 days. So love that. Take your time with choosing a shade and definitely go into store if you need to get properly shade matched so you get the right one on the first try. I got so lucky getting my right shade. I hate buying product online because things just look so different in photos. I feel like I really need to be there swatching, and you can't do that in stores right now. So it's really difficult, and I highly recommend going into stores if you're unsure and getting some shade match help from one of the consultants. This vegan foundation is infused with apple extract and sodium hyaluronate. That's a big word. I don't know what that means. To help nourish and hydrate the skin. It's creamy, non-comedogenic, and it minimizes the appearance of pores for a smooth, healthy look. It's best for balanced to dry skin, but oily folks can use it too. So something I saw a lot of people comment on my TikTok when I originally posted my first impression of the foundation is that it looks super dewy and like it wouldn't work for oily skin. Now, any foundation you can make work for any skin type, but you just might have to work a little harder at it. Just the way that dry skin people have to work a little harder to wear a matte foundation with a lot of prep, moisturizing, special primers, stuff like that. Oily skin people will have to work a little bit harder to prep their skin for something like this that could be a little bit more nourishing for your skin. You may need to use a more mattifying primer, a better powder to set your makeup when you're done with it. So just some little extra steps that you might have to do if you really want this foundation to work for you. But for me, being a dry skinned person so far, I don't really have many complaints with it. So let's do a quick roundup of the claims because there's quite a bit of them. Fast, lightweight, full coverage, fresh matte finish, looks like skin, covers blemishes, no flashback, non-cakey, lasts all day, best for balanced dry skin, and hides pores. Lots of things going on there. They really are predicting this to be your hero foundation, which it could be. Only time will tell in the wear test. So hopefully we can put those claims to the test and see truly how well this foundation works. It's been viral everywhere. Everyone's talking about it, and I truly want to put it to the test to be sure that it's worth your coin, and we will start the wear test. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead and get into the wear test and the first application of the product so you can see how it first applies to the skin, and we can really start testing these claims. So on one side, I'm going to go ahead and do a brush application, and on the other side, I'm going to do a sponge application. I typically don't wear primers with my foundation, so I'm not testing it with a primer for that purpose. Usually the foundations that I love work well without a primer, so I'm hoping the same is for this one. Everyone on TikTok is capturing like that first swipe of the foundation on the cheek, and it's just so intense. So I'm going to go ahead and do it for you guys up close and personal. Let me zoom you in so you can see. So quickly before we go ahead and apply, I'll tell you quickly what my skin type is. I'm combo, but more on the dry side. Sometimes I have some flakiness, some texture going on in my skin, and it is acne prone. As you can see, we got a little friend here that we will test the coverage on top of, and overall I just have some redness, discoloration, acne marks, so it will really put the full coverage claims to the test. So I'll go ahead and show you guys first with a brush. This is an A30 from ABH. I'll go ahead and dip in. You really don't need much of this. And we're gonna go first swipe. Just like that. So much pigment, you guys. This foundation is literally like nothing I've ever tried before. So let's go ahead and blend it in. The only thing on my skin right now is my skincare from this morning. I have some moisturizer on, but that's it. Again, we didn't apply any primer. It's looking so good. The skin is super evened out. You can't really see any redness poking through. It still has kind of a skin-like finish like the claims suggested. Yeah, I'm just wowed. Every time I put this foundation on, it is just incredible how well it applies. Oh, I just stuck my finger in it. That's gross. Like, seriously, you guys saw me tap in like twice into the compact. You do not need much of this at all. A little bit goes a very long way. That's why I personally was able to justify it when I purchased it, because it was hard for me at first, because I was like, if it's a balm and it doesn't do anything, is it really worth like $40? But listen, it is. It goes such a long way, and I already know it's gonna last me a long time. I got so lucky with my shade match, guys. This is the shade Light 004. I took a complete gamble by using the online shade matcher thing, and I got so lucky. So here is the brush side, and here's the side with nothing. See my redness poking through over here, discoloration, and you can see that this side matches really nicely to my neck. It has that really skin-like finish, and it feels so light on the skin. You would think that something this full coverage would feel like a cakey mess, but it literally does not. It feels like I'm wearing a tinted moisturizer. It is so light, and it just effortlessly blends onto the skin. Like, I can't get over how much I love this foundation already. So already some of the claims: it's fast, lightweight, full coverage. Definitely, I applied it super quickly. It didn't take long to blend out. It kind of blends itself out like so effortlessly. Full coverage, as you can see, this side to this side, night and day, and it really covers up all of that redness that I have going on. And it looks like skin. It definitely does. I'll show you guys a little close-up. I'll go ahead and do the other side with the sponge. So this is the pimple that I'm really hoping it's able to... Okay. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say I was really hoping it would cover, and oh, it definitely covered. Definitely, if you're someone like me who deals with breakouts, acne-prone skin, discoloration, this foundation is it. Some of it is still slightly poking through. It's a very bright red pimple, and I didn't color correct or anything because I just want to see how the foundation applies on its own and the power that it has. And I'm literally just tapping my sponge in like once, and it picks up just the right amount of product. One tap for the top half and one tap for this lower half of my face. So we will see if we can build it up around this little acne spot friend I have going on. Oh wow. I don't know if the camera's picking up, but I think I saw a difference in person. So here are the two sides applied. This is the brush side, and this is the sponge side. I'll show you some quick looks, close up, the sponge side, and the brush side. Virtually no difference between them. I will say the brush side probably applied a little bit more pigmented. I feel like the sponge definitely shears out the product, which, I mean, that's kind of the point of the sponge, is to absorb some of it. So if you really want to get that full coverage, I would recommend a brush for doing that. Going over any spots that you really want to bump up that coverage, a brush is probably the way to go. Yeah, as you can see, pretty much all the claims, all the big claims that this foundation has, the lightweight, the skin-like, the redness covering, acne spot coverage, everything right off the bat, pretty much meeting those claims. It looks so nice on the skin. The thing I'm a little thrown off about is that it describes the finish as a fresh matte finish. For me, it just seems like dewy skin-like. I don't really see much of a mattifying effect going on. Maybe as it sets throughout the day, we might see more of that. It could set down. The current time is 11:52 a.m. So impressed. You guys know this isn't my first time wearing it. I already did a first impression like I talked about earlier, but yeah, I mean, I can't get over it. People are really hyping this up, and I definitely see why. It is such amazing coverage, super lightweight, and it just looks flawless on the skin. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup, some concealer, bronzer, eye stuff, all that good stuff, and I'll check in with you guys a little bit later to show you how the skin is looking. Alright, so the time is currently 1:17 p.m. So the foundation has been settling on my skin for a little bit now. It's been about an hour or so since we first applied. I have my full makeup applied for the day, so I'll go ahead and show you guys a close-up of how the skin is looking. This is the brush side, and this is the sponge side. So again, both sides look pretty similar in terms of application. Now looking at it after the fact with all other makeup products applied. So I feel like I have to say it's sitting on my skin a little bit and kind of melting in a little bit more. I feel like it looks even better than it did when I first applied it. I feel like there isn't much to say. I mean, it's sitting really nicely over top of my texture, which I love. Some foundations really cling to that and make it look even more intensified, but this kind of lays on top of it and almost fades out the look of the texture. I mean, it can't get rid of the texture. No makeup can do that. It lays super nicely over top. I'm not having any crazy smile lines. It's not settling into lines super crazy. Looks good on the nose. I mean, there's really no complaints. I applied both cream and powder products over top of it. Cream up here and for like my contour bronzer area. I did powder blush. So I tested a lot of different products over top of it. There's like nothing bad to say. It looks so good on the skin. Definitely skin-like and definitely just super comfortable and lightweight feeling on the skin, not heavy at all, which is kind of misleading among first application. I know watching those videos on TikTok, I was like, that's gotta be some really heavy cakey foundation, but it's literally not at all. Looking at it in the mirror in person, it looks super natural and it looks like I'm wearing a light coverage foundation and my skin is just a lot more clear and doesn't have as much redness as it actually does. But in reality, this is a full coverage foundation that is just wearing so nicely on the skin. So I'm gonna go ahead with the rest of my day and put this to the test a little bit more. I'll be doing some editing. I might go out and do some errands later, so we'll be wearing a mask with it to see how that affects the foundation. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that and I'll check in with you a little later. Okay, so we are back for our next check-in. It is currently 4:11 p.m. So it's about 3 hours since our last check-in. I'm gonna go ahead and take a close look. There's been absolutely no touch-ups throughout the day. I've just been working upstairs editing. I don't see it clinging super funny to any of my texture, nothing on the under eyes. The forehead looks really smooth. I feel like the longer that I wear this foundation, the more it seeps into the skin and just like melts in and gives you that flawless finish. Yeah, I really do not see anything crazy going on. It still feels super comfortable. We're getting the tiniest bit oily on the chin area. I didn't add any powder or any concealer or anything else on the chin area. This is just strictly the foundation down here because I do have some texture down here. I usually don't like to set it so it doesn't get intensified. And I do notice that it's getting a little bit oily down here, a little bit more oily on my forehead region. So I think I'm just gonna let those go and see how it wears throughout the rest of the day. I want to try to get by without any touch-ups. I did go ahead and take a quick video on my phone in natural lighting so you guys can see what the foundation looks like. Just using my iPhone. It was sunny out today. I just wanted to take advantage of that and show you how it looks in natural lighting as well. But yeah, I feel like the skin looks so good. Honestly, really impressed. I feel like that's all I'm saying about this foundation. I'm like looking for something to maybe mention, but all I can say is that my skin looks really good, really skin-like. It has a nice glow to it. So I wanted to do this initially in my last check-in to test the flashback of the foundation, but I didn't get the chance to, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quick. Yeah, I don't see any crazy flashback. I look absolutely crazy. It just looks like my skin tone, but flash is usually never really flattering, is it? Yeah, definitely not a flash photography person, let's be real. So I will say that that claim is pretty much golden. There is no flashback. So a little later, I'm going to be running to the grocery store and I will be wearing a mask, obviously, so that will kind of put this to the test to see how transferable it is. There were really no transfer-proof claims on the foundation, so if it does transfer, I mean, that wasn't a claim, but we'll just do it for fun to see if it does transfer and I genuinely have to go out. It's happening regardless in this wear test. So I will do another check-in a little bit later to see if anything else has changed. Alrighty, so let's get into the final check-in of the day. It is currently 8:03 p.m. Like I said earlier, I was heading to the store to do some errands, and I went ahead and showed you guys what my mask looked like before going to the store, what my skin looked like before, and the mask afterwards. There was definitely a bit of transfer, but again, there was no transfer-proof claim on this foundation, so I can't really knock it for that because they didn't say it wouldn't transfer. And 9 times out of 10, base products are going to transfer. Anytime I wear a foundation with a mask, it transfers. transfers. It's just, it happens, and I wasn't expecting really anything different, so no surprises there. So I'll go ahead and show you guys a quick close-up of my skin. There is definitely a lot more oil around the face, definitely in the front of my cheek area here next to my nose, on the forehead, in the chin area as we previously discussed. So definitely something I would just quickly touch up with some loose powder. Nothing super intense where I would need like an oil blotting sheet or anything like that. For wearing a mask with this foundation, it rubbed off so subtly, usually around, you know, like where the nose is, where the mask hits the cheek area. You know, there's a lot more rubbing, but it isn't bad at all. Like, my nose still looks really good. The cheeks, there's like virtually no rubbing off of. The only area that there is a bit of foundation missing is my chin area. You know, with talking while wearing the mask, that is bound to happen. So again, I wasn't surprised that that happened while wearing the mask. So honestly, I have to say this is probably the wear test of a foundation that I am probably the most impressed with in a very long time. I haven't done a ton of wear tests, but this one holds my #1 spot. I think that it wore so beautifully throughout the day. Yes, I could definitely use a powder touch-up in some areas to reduce some of the oiliness, but it faded so gradually in the areas that it did fade. On the chin area, it held up really nicely under a mask, even though that wasn't even part of the claims. And yeah, I'm just overall really impressed. Let's go down the claim list and I will tell you guys if I think that it fits that claim or not. So, fast, lightweight, full coverage. Absolutely, we covered that in the application portion. Fresh matte finish. Now this one I gave a no, only because it is such a luminous foundation. I don't think there's any way you can really consider it mattifying. I think that it would be great to see a mattifying version of this product for those with more oily skin who want to try something that like a foundation balm. Overall, I think it's more of a dewy finish, and if you're looking for a matte finish, this probably isn't the foundation you want to reach for. Looks like skin, already covered, definitely very skin-like, especially up close and personal. Covers blemishes, absolutely, 100%. No flash, yep, we can knock that off the list. No flashback. Non-cakey, absolutely. Even with wearing it throughout the day, there was no cake or buildup of the foundation in any areas. It wasn't clinging super funny. Even to this point, it's not clinging to any of my dry patches or texture in my skin. So definitely no cakiness here. Lasts all day. I mean, if you are wearing a mask, because it did rub off decently on my chin, not horrible to the point where I would be embarrassed going out, but then again, they didn't say it wasn't transfer proof. So if you're wearing this throughout the day and you're not wearing a mask, probably could last you throughout the day. But if you're someone who needs to wear a mask on the day-to-day for work, maybe steer clear. Best for balanced dry skin, absolutely. I think this is more aimed towards people with normal and dry skin, as they specified in their description of the foundation. And hides pores. They do, I mean, I don't know if I noticed much of a difference in my pores, but then again, I don't have crazy huge pores. I mean, I do have some noticeable ones on my cheeks, but I don't think that they're any less noticeable than before. But I also don't know if I have the best pores to test that on. So this one, I don't know. I didn't see a major difference personally for my skin. So overall, I think I am very impressed with this foundation balm. I think that it's an incredible idea. The packaging itself is so compact and easy. So much easier to travel with than a giant bottle of foundation. I think that the packaging is great. The whole idea behind this foundation is incredible, and I am so insanely impressed by the coverage. It covered up my redness. It didn't fade throughout the day over top of blemishes. I think that this is definitely going to be my new go-to. It's absolutely worth all the hype that is all over TikTok and all over social media right now. So if you can get your hands on this, I know it's sold out practically everywhere right now, but if you can get your hands on this, try checking your Sephoras, your Ultas, and get your hands on it, because it's insane, especially if you're someone with more normal to dry skin. If you do have oily skin, you're going to have to work with it a little more, as we talked about previously, with a more mattifying primer and really setting it down with powder. That is it for my overview and wear test of the all-new Good Apple foundation from KVD Beauty. I am super in love with this foundation. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure you hit that like and subscribe to let me know you like videos like this so I can do more of them. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you are notified every time I upload. You can find me on social media at Mcdrew on Instagram and TikTok, and _Mcdrew on Twitter, so I can chat with you guys when I'm not here uploading. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for sticking through the video. I know it was a bit of a long one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.